Yeah, solitary confinement. I spent 6 years in solitary confinement in Nevada, state of Nevada. It didn't feel good, because there is this, it really messes you up, really. I mean, it kind of puts you in a state of mind where you just really don't care. You know what I mean? It's the conditions, how you live, the stuff you have to deal with, you know what I mean? The shoe yards, because it's violent on every level, you know what I mean? The staff are really super aggressive, it just puts you in a state to where, you feel like you are what you are, a monster, you're a caged monster, so you pretty much act that way. You carry yourself that way without even really knowing it, you know what I mean? And the end result is, now you pushing for medication, it drives you to do a lot of different things. And it drove me, I sit in the hole so long, and for like the last 4 years, I suck out mental health, get medication. Once I didn't need it, but at the time, you feel like you do, So it's a hard push. It really messes you up in a sense of because you're not around people. You really don't know. Only conversation you have is violent, rough conversation. So you kind of lose touch on how to communicate with people. You lose touch with how to communicate with your family, because now it's different. You're so frustrated, so you're taking it out on your letter writing. The 15, 20 minutes you get on the telephone, you're taking it out. When stuff's not really going your way, you're lashing out. So everything about you becomes, I don't like to use the word a monster, but that's what it creates. It creates, unstable individuals, which I was. It had caused a triple effect. When I got out, nothing changed. You don't want to go see a parole officer. None of that matters. You just go get right at it. It pushes you to that, to where subconsciously you're not even really thinking about what you're doing or what you're saying or how you're acting. When things are not going your way, you just go back to what you know and lash out. That's what being in solitary confinement does to you. It teaches you how to lash out, because there's really nothing there to help you understand the right way to do things. You might come in there with made a little mistake. You're usually not a little mistake, a big mistake to get in that situation. And once you're in that situation, you just, like they say, when in Rome, you do like the Romans. You just adapt to your environment. And that's what it is, And so now you're just on edge, on alert, want to lash out to everybody, make you hate everything, yourself, and so forth and so forth. It's just a horrible situation. It's hard to fight out of it.